Hi everyone, welcome to Thankful Thursday. So today I would like you to write down what you are grateful for and send them in to me. I would love to see your thoughts. So for me, I think I am grateful for my family because we're working together and keeping each other safe. I'm also thankful for all our key workers who are making sure we still get our essential services such as food, healthcare and education. So this is my quote for today. Along my journey, I have learnt that the more thankful I am, the more I have to be thankful for. So if you're humble and you say thanks for things that you are given, you will actually realize you have more items or more things that you need to be thankful for. Okay, so being grateful is a wonderful part of your personality. So for today's lesson, you are going to need an exercise book or lined paper, a pen, a pencil, a ruler, your comprehension sheet for today, your newspaper plan, your newspaper word mat, and your creativity. So pause the video here and go and grab those things. Okay, so for today, we are going to be looking at a poem. Now, I have added that poem to the email just so that you have it in a bigger format if you need a bigger font, if you need it, if it's not very clear. So today's LI for guided reading is to retrieve correct information from the text. So I'm going to read the poem to you. You have the questions there. Those questions are actually available on the PowerPoint, which is on Purple Mash, and I have also sent them separately on an email so that it's clear for you too. In my head's a journey that only I can take. There is no one else can ever read my mind. I must tread carefully, for all the thoughts I make must be mine alone, not lost upon the wind. Inside are paths and mazes, there are caverns, pits and keys. There are wolves and saints and crazes, a wave, a storm, a breeze. There are patterns, wonder, colours, music, thunder, voices. My mind is like no others, only I can make my choices. Mind out, that is, if you don't mind. I must be gentle, treat it kind. Your mind is your own, I think you'll find. One day I hope to know my own mind. Okay, so that's a poem by Ross Asquith, and it's from the book Vanishing Trick Poems. So if you like that, you can look up those poems or that anthology and read some more. So here are your questions. There's lots of questions related to the text and to the language. So please make sure you're reading carefully. You might need to read the poem a couple of times in order to fully understand some of the questions. So when you are done, you may send your work to me so I can have a look. Please pause the video here and go ahead and complete that comprehension. We will go through the answers very shortly. Okay, so here are your answers to your questions. What word does the poet use as a synonym for whole? So the word is cavern. Okay. How does the poet say she must behave towards her mind? She's saying that she should be gentle with it and treat it kindly. The poet uses the word mind in different ways so that it has different meanings. Give two examples from the poem. So she refers to it as a collection of paths and mazes, as well as weather, such as storms and winds. Okay, so those are two ways that she refers to the mind. Number 4, do you think the poet is a young person or an older person? So I think she's a young person, as she says, one day I hope to know my own mind. This suggests she has more learning to do about herself. Number 5, why do you think the poet wants their thoughts to be mine alone? I think it's because her thoughts are her possession and they are private to her. She wants it to be a secret thing that only she knows. Number 6, why do you think the writer compares her mind to paths and mazes? And I would suggest a path and a maze are mazes are quite confusing, aren't they? So that's why I thought her mind is confusing. And with paths, I think often your ideas lead from one to another to another. So that's why I thought paths and mazes told us two things about her mind. Number 7, why has the poet chosen to talk about wolves? So I think it refers to the range of emotion she has in her mind, because wolves can be quite ferocious. They also can be quite timid. So I think that's why she refers to it as a wolf. And do you think the poet's mind is happy or sad or angry? Now this is your own perception of the poem. However, I think that it's a mixture of all three, because her description changes. First she talks about it being colours and patterns, then she talks about it as storms and thunder, and then she talks about mazes. So it's a bit of a mix of everything, I think, not just one emotion. Okay, so check your work, tick correct, and then send it in to me at the email address above and let me know what you think, how you got on. Did you find it hard? Did you find it easy? And if you did find it difficult, what questions did you find hard? Okay, right, we're going to pause the video here so you can then have a quick look and scan through those answers. Okay, so grammar for today. Please can you write the date and the li in your book? And today we are going to look at two different types of nouns. Yesterday we looked at common and proper nouns. Today we're looking at abstract and collective nouns. Okay, and we might have come across these when we were talking about nouns when we were at school, so I think we should be okay, but we're just going to have a very quick recap of those. So an abstract noun is a noun referring to something which cannot be experienced with any of the five senses, such as an idea, thought or emotion, happiness, love, courage or boredom. So these are things that you can't touch, but they are there. Okay, they're an idea. So concrete nouns are people, places or things that you can use for the five senses, things you can smell, you can touch, you can hear. However, abstract you can't. Okay, and sometimes it's very difficult to know if a noun is abstract or not, because those words can function in different ways. Okay, so for example, to taste something is a noun, but also to taste can be a verb as well. Okay, so we have to be very careful and read the context of that sentence. So we're going to go through a few examples just to make it very clear for you. Can you please pause the video here and go through these, make some notes if you need to, and look at some different examples. Okay, so now we're going to go through the different abstract and collective nouns that we have. So we have emotions and feelings, which are abstract nouns. We have nouns that are attributes, so about personality, which are abstract. Ideas and concepts such as culture, trust, truth, faith, they're all ideas and concepts and abstract nouns. Movement and events such as progress, education, hospitality. So although they are things that we actually do, so obviously education is something that you are doing, education is the term used for the whole area, isn't it? So that is seen as an abstract noun. And nouns that are following have suffixes such as shun, ism, ity, meant, ness, age, ance, ence, ship, ability and assy are all different abstracts. Usually they are abstracts such as enjoyment, fairness, endurance, patience, friendship. All of those words have the suffix which are listed here. Okay, so they are all abstract. So if you think about it, abstract nouns are everywhere around us, and we use a lot of them for description as well. So pause here. I want you to make some lists. Don't copy all of them, but I would suggest maybe copying about 6 or 7 just to give you an idea of what an abstract noun is. Okay, so now we're going to move on to seeing if you can identify some abstract nouns in a sentence. Okay, so there was great excitement when Arsenal scored the first goal. Sometimes it takes bravery to tell the truth. After the marathon, I collapsed with exhaustion. At WJS, we realised the importance of a good education. Take pride in your achievements. Childhood should be the happiest time of your life. Have a little patience, we'll get there soon. So if you can pause the video here, I want you to go through and identify all of the abstract nouns that you can see. And we will go through the answers very shortly. Okay, so let's start with number 1. There was great excitement when Arsenal scored the first goal. Excitement is the abstract noun in that one. Number 2. Bravery and truth are both abstract nouns. Number 3. Exhaustion is the abstract noun there. Remember, although you can see that someone's exhausted, it's still a feeling. Okay, so it's still an abstract noun. Number 4. Education, as we saw on the last slide. Number 5, achievements. Although we can see achievements, it is a general term, and pride is also one too. Number 6, childhood should be the happiest time of your life. So happiest is, not happiest, life and childhood are the two abstract nouns there. And patience is the last one. Okay, so just tick that to see if you've got that. Okay, so now I would like you to have a look at these sentences and see if you can fill in any abstract nouns that fit with that sentence. So for the first one, Romeo and Juliet fell head over heels in love. So the love would be the word that you put there. Okay, so please write these sentences out and write in the correct nouns and then email them to me so that I can see that you understand how to use abstract nouns. Okay, so pause the video here, copy those down and then send them off to me. Okay, so now let's move on to collective nouns. A collective noun is a noun referring to a group or collection of people, such as a crowd of people, a flock of sheep, or a bunch of bananas. So the whole team was excited to win the trophy. What do you think the collective noun should be for there? Yep, the team, because it's a whole team of people. Okay, again, I would like you to go through and write these sentences in your books and write down the collective noun there, or underline the collective noun in each of them. Pause the video here and we will go through together. Okay, so number 1 we said was the whole team. Number 2, a family of snakes. So again, family. Number 3 is a gaggle of geese. It's a group of geese. Peter joined the pirate crew. Crew is a group. And Elliot was thrilled to join the cathedral choir. Choir is a group of people that sing. Okay, so nice and straightforward, that one. Right, now this is a little recap of all of the nouns that we've looked at. And I want you to go through each noun and I want you to say whether it is a common, a proper, an abstract, or a collective noun. Okay, so you don't have to write all the sentences, just write the list of the nouns that are underlined and next to it just write down what they are. Again, please can you email me so that I can see that you understand the work, and I will give you the answers when you email me. So I'll reply back and say, yes, perfect, you've got all of this right. Okay, so I need to see your work, so please make sure you're emailing this work to me so I know that you understand. Pause the video here and complete that work before moving on, please. Okay, so today we are going to be continuing to write our newspaper article. You should have your plan in front of you. If you don't, pause the video here and go and grab that plan. We are going to write our final 2 paragraphs for our article today, and we're going to be using direct and reported speech in our paragraphs. So make sure you look over your work on your previous grammar lessons if you need it. And we're going to need these 3 boxes: paragraph 3, conclusion, and quotes. So the first 2 boxes we're going to use will be the box of quotes and our paragraph 3. Below is an example of the style of paragraph you could write. So remember, in our quotes, they were kind of the interviews that we had done with the characters and we'd written quotes about what they were going to say. And paragraph 3, remember, is basically putting those quotes into a paragraph and making it sound good. So this is what I've written, and I think you can do a million times better. John Walters, a spokesperson for the police, said these women are a menace and must be stopped. We cannot allow this kind of violent protest to continue. These sentiments are not supported by Edith Villiers, who has been teaching jiu-jitsu self-defense training to women for many years. I am proud to teach these women jiu-jitsu. They need to know how to defend themselves against the aggressive police officers who have no respect for our rights. Emmeline Pankhurst was in agreement with Miss Villiers. We will not stop until we get the right to vote. So, as you can see, I've literally just padded out those quotes and made sure that I've added extra words to the characters, and I've also introduced who they are and what they represent, what they have been doing, just a little brief introduction. So it's important to do that for the reader to know exactly who they are and how they're relevant to the story. And please make sure when you write, you use your quotes, your inverted commas correctly where they need to go as well. Okay, but copy my punctuation that I've got there as well. So when you're writing this paragraph, just have this example there so you know the way that it needs to be set out. Okay, pause the video here and I want you to write this paragraph first before you move on to the next paragraph. So make sure this is done properly. Okay, so for the next one, you are going to write a conclusion about the suffragettes. So what the future is. And I've written a phone line, and then I realized actually maybe phone lines weren't so widely used then. Let's do an address. So I would change that phone line to address, okay, to write to the police. So the future of the suffragettes is unclear. There is a clear divide in the country, and at present it seems that authorities will do whatever it takes to stop the women from gaining the right to vote. However, these women will not give up, and it remains to be seen if they will achieve their goal. The police have asked us to print their address. This is for members of the public to get in touch with them to report any disruptive behaviour they have witnessed by the suffragettes. Please write to PC Walters at London Police Station, Charing Road, London, WC1 24E. Okay, so we are talking about the suffragettes, about how we think things might not pan out, and if they will or if they won't, what is the future of them, and then also the information that the police want. Okay, so we're kind of balancing out. We're trying our best not to put our own opinion on things and trying to keep things as neutral as we can. Okay, now I would like you to write it in 2 separate paragraphs like I have done. You may add more to your future of the suffragettes is unclear. I noticed 2 mistakes as I read through. I've written unclear and clear, so obviously try not to repeat the same words in the sentences if you can. And I've also written an error for it remains to be seen. It should be remains to be seen. Okay, so if you want to use that phrase remains to be seen, it's an N at the end of the C. Okay, right. I really look forward to seeing your finished articles. The work I've seen so far has been brilliant. So please continue to do that and send me in your lovely articles. Remember, the certificates will be given on Friday, so I want to be giving out lots and lots. So tomorrow we're going to be looking at how we can up-level our sentences and edit our work. So it's really important that you finish off your article to the best you can, and then we can work on how we can develop our language further. Okay, email us at year6@grange.harrow.sc.uk, and I will see you tomorrow.